Again, children, we are going to discuss the message of the story, the Chinese statue. So, talking about the message, we can say it is somewhat related to theme only, and in the message, we can say that through the story, the narrator, through the story, the author has tried to present before us that to attain perfection in judging something, to attain perfection in becoming a judge for any piece of art, firstly we have to acquire a lot of knowledge, and superficial knowledge cannot help us in judging any piece of art and architecture. This is the obvious message that the story conveys, because in the story, since the beginning, we were trapped in the web of the statue, wherein we have discussed the statue throughout the story. But towards the latter end of the story, towards the last portion of the story, we have come to know that it was not the statue which was original, rather than the base of the statue which was given least importance by the person who had acquired the statue was actually original, and he had thought his entire life that the statue was original, and that is why he had thought that the statue was original, and that is why he had given he had clearly given or specified in his will that the statue should keep on passing from one generation to another, and the first child of each generation would acquire the statue from the previous generation. And he attached a lot of importance to the statue instead of attaching importance to the base. And later on, it is observed in the story that it is not the base which was important, it is not the statue which was original, rather than it was the base which was original. So is this much clear to all of you? Now, first message I have already told you, that is we should be perfectionist before judging any piece of art. Perfectionist before judging any piece of art. Secondly, we can say that the next message that the story conveys is that we should be hard, and we should not be like Alex. We should not spoon feeding from our ancestors, or you can say from our parents as well. We should not expect spoon feeding, and we should be hardworking, dedicated, we should be hard, dedicated, and honest. We should not be like Alex. It means that since Alex was the last person who had acquired the statue, and it was he who had put up the statue for the auction, and it was clearly mentioned in Sir Alexander's will that the statue should keep on passing from one generation to the other, and it should never be sold until family's name is at stake. So Alex was a person who was very much spoiled, and he did not want to work hard. He had suffered many losses in whatever he had done, and the recent loss that he had suffered was in casino business, and he was under pressure for paying heavy debt to the people from whom he had borrowed money. So just for that, instead of working hard to pay those debts, he had put up the statue for the auction, and then he thought that the statue was the original one, and from the statue he would get heavy amount and then he will pay the debts. But unfortunately it turned out to be something else. This shows that instead of relying on anything which has been given to us by our forefathers, instead of not taking care of that thing, we should try to be honest, hardworking and dedicated. Is this much clear to all of you? Is this much clear to all of you? Give thumbs up if it is clear.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, how many characters are there in the story, children? How many characters are there? Children, how many characters are there in the story? Now, children, talking about the characters. First character will be Alexander Heathcote. So, children, when Sarthak, now children, talking about the character sketch, the first character that is there in the story about initially is Sir Alexander Heathcote. So in itself, on the first page of the story itself, we come to know that Sir Alexander Heathcote was a disciplined man. That is, he was an exact man. He was a disciplined man. Once we come to know that he was a disciplined man, then secondly, on the third page of the statue, when we have read on the story, we have read that once Alexander reaches China, there when Sir Alexander reaches China as a British ambassador, there he tries to explore more about Chinese art and architecture, and this shows that he was a lover of art. He was a This shows that he was a lover of art. He had a lot of interest in art and architecture. And once he acquired the statue, from the old craftsman, what did he do? In return, he gave a return gift, that is, he got a house built for that old craftsman and he gave that house to old craftsman. It shows that he was a true gentleman. Now, what else we can say about Sir Alexander Heathcote? We have discussed that Sir Alexander Heathcote was a disciplined man. We have read that whatever he did, the exact time for doing that thing he had allotted to it, and he did the same thing daily. And so we can say that he was a disciplined man. So then next we have written that he was a lover of art. How we can say that he was a lover of art? Once he went to China as a British ambassador to China, instead of doing his work for which he had been appointed in China as a British ambassador, he thought that he would be spending most of his time in you can say in viewing about Chinese art and architecture, as it was very famous, and that he did, and he took a guide along with him to do that. Then true gentleman, how we can say that he was a true gentleman? We have read that Sir Alexander took care according to Chinese tradition, if someone gives you some gift, in return you have to pay back something to that person, and that is why Sir Alexander gifted a house to old craftsman. And then in the last discussion of Sir Alexander Heathcote in the story, we have read that Sir Alexander Heathcote in his will had written that the statue must keep on passing from one generation to the other and to the eldermost child of the family, and that it should be sold only when the family's name would be at stake. So that shows that Sir Alexander Heathcote was a far-sighted man. Was a far-sighted man. A far sighted man. So the 4 points on which we can base the character sketch of Sir Alexander Heathcote are: he was a disciplined man, then he was a lover of art, then he was a true gentleman, and then finally he was a far-sighted man. I hope this much is clear to all of you. Is this much clear to all of you? Okay. Thank you so much, children.